Hey guys, so the plan today is to try and make a wedding outfit for a wedding that I'm going to in about 2 weeks, and I haven't started. I did a poll on Instagram to help me decide what it is that I wanted to make, and the consensus between a one piece and a two piece was a two piece outfit. So what I'm using is this old curtain fabric that I found in this house when we bought it, and it was hanging. So this is the curtains that they had in this house. So it has been washed, and I just thought it's such a nice color and it feels so good. It's so soft and it's so shiny, and I just thought this would be a nice material to use for a wedding outfit. So my thoughts is to make sort of like a bustier top. I did want to do like a sort of suit trousers thing going on, but I don't know if I'm gonna have enough material, so we'll have to see. But my thought is to have like a bustier top with some trousers, and if I've got enough material, maybe make a jacket, but I don't know. So that's the plan. So yeah, this curtain, you know, we're being sustainable using what we already have, so I'm not buying any new material for it, and there's two pieces of that which should work really well. I don't know if it looks that great on there, but it's such a great color, and I think it would look really good with my skin tone. So I'm excited to see how that turns out. I'm going to use the inside of it. It's already lined, so that I'll just use that as the lining. And so far, this is what I've done. I'm taking a proper shortcut here, but if you've seen my video which I made a dress in, a bridesmaid dress, I used this pattern here to make the top of that. So I'm going to try and use this pattern again, just adjust it to what I want. This is not the right method for draping, guys, so don't even try and follow that, but I'm just trying to make it quick. So I'm going to use this and adjust it to how I want it to fit this time around. So I'm making the sides slightly longer, and I'm using this bra cup, which was a 50p from the haberdashery Fabricland, for those who know. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. Yes, that was 50p for a set of 2 of them. So I've just kind of slightly shaped it to how I want it to sit on me. It does fit me, even though it is 34 inches, but I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's that around the bust or the under bust, but either way, it fits my cup, so I'm happy with that. 50p for a set. On the back of that, I've just got my measurements just to help guide me. But yes, I'm going to try and use this as my guide for making this outfit, which I'm really, really excited about. But I've got 2 weeks. I work Monday to Friday and just don't have time. So I'm going to try and do that in this project now. So yeah, enjoy. So once I've taken the pieces off the, mannequin, these are the pieces that I end up with. So this is the back piece, which I need to add 1 inch to the top from that line there. Add 1 inch to it for how I want it to sit. This is the center front. This is the front piece. This is the extra piece that I needed to add to it. And then this is the piece that goes onto the side seam attached to that. And this is the section that I wanted to add to it. So what I'm going to do now is transfer these new pieces onto this spare fabric that I have. This is some muslin that I made something else out of, but I'm not using it. So I'm going to transfer them to this, and then I'm going to try and see how that works. So what I'm going to do is trace along these lines as the lines that I want, so take away the seam allowance, and then once I've done that, I will then re-add the seam allowance to all edges. So I'll add seam allowance there, I'll add seam allowance there, and then hopefully that will give me the pieces that I need to work with to make this bustier. Okay, so what I've decided to do instead is to trace these pattern pieces onto paper. That way it's a lot easier for me to transfer onto this muslin, because I couldn't see anything I was doing on this. So yeah, I'm just going to trace this on, and the good thing about this paper is like each line is 1 centimeter apart, and I want to have a 1 centimeter seam allowance on my pattern. So what I'm going to do is just trace this onto the paper. I decided to use duct tape to drape out the cup of the bodice, and basically I just thought it might be a little bit easier because I had actually tried foil before this, and I actually used material, but I just thought, let me try out the duct tape to see how it turns out, and this was a process of how it ended up working out. So sorry about the weird angle, guys. So I've got this old bra and I need a wire, and I'm not going to be wearing this bra again because I don't like the way it fits. So what I'm going to do is take the wire out of this one. I've already got a wire in one of the cups. I just need another wire, and I really just can't be asked to go to the shop. So what I'm going to do is undo this bra and take the wire out of this one. It's actually padded. I don't know if I can use that. I can pretend. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna try and take the wire out of this bra, and then I'll come right back and show you guys, you know, just putting the wire into the top that I'm making, and then go from there. We'll see. I'm gonna go along and fold it in half and sew across the edge of that, and this is gonna help me make my loops.
Using this loop turner was a mission. I know I make it look easy and it looks like I only did it in a few seconds, but it actually took me a long time.
Okay, this should be a lot easier than this. Okay guys, so I'm using the top of the curtain. So this is what hangs off the curtain pole at the top. I'm using that as the bit that's going to cover the back of the actual corset. So what I'm going to do now is add the loops, and I'm going to measure how big this is. So it's about 7 inches, and I've got 4 on each side, 4 loops on each side. So what I'm going to do is try and space them out evenly. Guys, I'm not really sure where I left the last video because my camera died, and I basically just ended up, because I wanted to finish it in the same day, I ended up adding the bias binding at the top of the whole top up here, and then I did the same to the bottom, so I hemmed it all the way, and then I added the loops, but when I did actually put it on, it fits just fine, but I feel like I needed more loops here, and then I needed them also to be closer, maybe even smaller, I'm not sure. But also this bit here was quite big because I've got quite a small waist, so this was quite big. So what I did was just take this in slightly, and then when I put in the like the strap to tie it at the back, it was gaping and scrunching up at the top here when I tied it. So what I'm going to do real quickly is just to undo this section here of the bias binding and insert some boning in here, And basically, hopefully that will help it hold its structure, but I basically need to change that. And apart from that, that'll be it complete. So yeah, that's what it's looking at the moment. It's looking so good. This material is so nice, guys. Can you believe it? Made out of curtains. Lovely stuff. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and sew that back together in place. Do the same on this side, and then what I'm going to do is just sew across there so that the boning stays in one place, and then I'll do the same for the other side. Sew across there. Sorry, I wasn't even showing you guys. Sew along here to hold the boning in place on the end, and then I'll do the same for the other side, and then I'm gonna come back to you. So once it's all done, this is what it looks like. I am so happy with this fit. What I'm going to do when I do eventually wear it out to the wedding that I'm going to, I will put double-sided sticky tape just across there and across there. And this is what the back looks like. I'm going to add a loop here and a loop at the top as well. But yeah, really happy with the way that this looks.